All right, so you sent over a whole bunch of articles on budgeting apps,
Yeah,
getting ready to dive into the world of automated finances, huh?
it looks like it.
We got pieces here from Forbes Advisor and Money Under 30,
Yep.
both digging into the best options out there right now, January 2025.
Uh-huh.
But here's the shocker.
Okay.
Mint.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
It's vanished.
Really?
Poof.
Wow.
Gone.
I get chained.
Big shakeup in the budgeting app world.
Yeah, the landscape changes fast, even for something as fundamental as budgeting.
Yeah,
It really makes you think about what goes on behind the scenes.
totally. So our mission for you today is to cut through the clutter. Figure out which app, if any, is actually worth your precious time.
Yeah,
We'll find the hidden gems and help you figure out what might be the best fit for your needs.
exactly. There are so many options out there. It's easy to get analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
We'll break down the key features, the good, the bad, and the maybe not so great, so you can make a smart choice.
First, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather the missing app in the App Store.
Okay.
Mint.
Right.
It was the budgeting app for so many people.
Yeah.
Forbes Advisor even mentions that it's just gone.
I know.
Poof. What happened?
Yeah?
Was it a tech meltdown? Did
Yeah.
some big corporation gobble them up?
Right.
It's like budgeting app drama.
It is intriguing to think about what happened behind the scenes, right?
Totally.
While we don't know the exact details, some of Mint's features are now part of Credit Karma.
Okay.
It shows how these companies are adapting and trying to stay on top of the ever-changing finance game.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, let's focus on what this means for you.
Okay.
The good news is there are plenty of other fish in the sea, or rather apps in the App Store.
Right.
Forbes Advisor reviewed a whopping 27 apps looking at cost, security, user ratings, the whole 9 yards.
And speaking of cost and value,
Mm.
I think it's worth pausing for a second to talk about why budgeting matters in the first place.
Yeah,
Some people find it tedious and restrictive.
right?
Is it really worth all the effort?
It absolutely is. Budgeting isn't about penny pinching. It's about understanding where your money is going and making choices that align with your goals.
Okay.
Think of it as a roadmap to financial freedom.
Okay. That makes sense. But not everyone's a natural planner.
Right.
A lot of people struggle with sticking to a budget.
Yeah,
They know they should be good at it, but it just feels like a constant battle.
it's true. Managing your finances can be challenging, and a lot of folks feel like they should just instinctively know how to do it perfectly.
Yeah.
But that's where these apps can be game changers. They help simplify the process, take some of the mental load off, and give you a clear picture of your spending habits.
It's less about deprivation and more about making conscious choices, right?
Exactly. Whether you're dreaming of buying a house, planning an epic adventure, or just want to feel more financially secure, budgeting apps can be your secret weapon.
I like that.
Speaking of which, Forbes Advisor had some pretty specific criteria when they ranked these apps. They dove deep into 27 different options, looking at stuff like cost, security, user ratings, and all that jazz.
And here's where it gets interesting. They place the most emphasis on how good the app is on your phone and how much it costs.
Right.
Those two factors accounted for a whopping 60% of their overall score.
That makes total sense. Most people manage their finances on the go these days.
Mhm.
So a clunky app is just going to end up gathering dust on your home screen.
Right.
And in today's world, who isn't trying to be mindful of their spending?
For sure. So now that we know what Forbes was looking for, let's dive into their top picks, along with some insights from Money Under 30.
Okay.
What are some of the apps that caught their eye?
Well, first up, we've got Quick and Simplify, which snagged a stellar 4.8 out of 5 rating from Forbes Advisor.
Okay.
They even crowned it that best for managing household finances.
Ooh, managing household finances. That sounds right up my alley.
Right.
Anything that promises to simplify things is a win in my book.
Right. Right. Simplify is great because it lets multiple users access the same account, which is perfect for couples, families, or even roommates who want to keep track of shared expenses.
Okay.
It's got all the basics covered: automatic transaction, imports customizable categories, savings, goal tracking, you name it.
Nice.
But there is a potential snag. There's no free trial, and there might be some price discrepancies between their website and what you see in the app stores.
So maybe a bit of a commitment right off the bat, but if it truly streamlines things, it could be worth it.
Yeah.
What's next on the list?
Next up is YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget.
Okay.
They definitely don't shy away from a bold statement.
I like it.
Forbes gave it a 4.7 out of 5, calling it the best for goal setting and proactive budgeting.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
Lots of these apps are really pushing the proactive approach.
Absolutely. YNAB is all about getting ahead of your money and making it work for you.
Okay.
Their philosophy is give every dollar a job.
I like it.
You allocate every single dollar of your income before you even spend it.
Whoa, that sounds intense.
Yeah.
I'm usually scrambling to figure out where my money went at the end of the month.
I hear you. It does take a bit more effort up front, but it can be a game changer for folks who are serious about reaching their financial goals.
Okay.
YNOD helps you break things down into smaller, manageable chunks so you don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's like building a roadmap to your dream life, one financial decision at a time.
I love that analogy. So you're basically telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what if you have a really unpredictable income?
Yeah.
Like if you're a freelancer or work gigs,
Right.
would YNB still be a good fit?
That's a great question, and it brings up one potential downside of YNAB.
Okay.
It works best if you have a pretty stable income and can plan ahead.
Uh-huh.
If your income is all over the place, it might be tricky to give every dollar a job before you even have those dollars.
Right.
It's definitely something to consider when deciding if it's the right app for you.
Okay, so maybe not the best for everyone, but definitely a powerful tool for those who thrive on structure and planning.
Yeah.
What's another app that stood out in these articles?
Well, if you're more of a visual learner, you might love Pocket Guard.
Okay.
Forbes Advisor gave it a 4.6 out of 5 rating and called it best for tracking spending.
Okay.
It's all about simplicity and keeping you in the loop.
Ooh, visual learner. That's me all the way.
Okay.
Charts, graphs, anything that helps me make sense of numbers is a big plus.
Then you might really like Pocket Guard.
Okay.
It's got a clean interface that shows you exactly how much money you have, how much you're spending, and how much is left over.
Yeah.
It's like a financial dashboard right in your pocket.
Love that I'm always trying to figure out where my money disappears to each month.
Right. Pocket Guard helps you break down your spending patterns and identify areas where you might be able to save a little extra cash.
Okay.
It can even help you negotiate lower bills and find better deals on things like subscriptions.
Wait, seriously, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal finance guru who's always looking out for you.
Exactly. And the best part is you can choose from different budgeting methods so you can find one that suits your style.
Oh, cool.
You can even set spending limits right in the app to avoid those impulse purchases.
Okay, stop. You had me at impulse purchases.
Yeah.
I need that in my life. But are there any downsides?
Well, the free version has some limitations.
Okay.
If you want access to all the bells and whistles, you'll need to upgrade to Pocket Guard Plus.
Uh-huh.
So again, there's that potential cost factor to weigh.
Fair enough. But if it helps me curb my spending habits and stay on top of my finances, it might be a worthwhile investment.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something about an app for freelancers and solopreneurs.
Yes. If your self-employed counterpart might be your new best friend, Forbes Advisor gave it a 4.6 out of 5 and recommended it as the best for, well, counting about all those business expenses.
Makes sense. Freelancers and business owners probably have some unique financial challenges.
They absolutely do. Countabout has some built-in features that can be lifesavers, like invoicing and receipt capturing.
Nice.
It can also help you generate customized budgets and reports to keep those financials squeaky clean.
Sounds pretty comprehensive. What's the catch?
Well, unlike some of the other apps we've talked about, Countabout doesn't have a free version,
Okay.
which might be a deal breaker for some folks.
Right.
And a few users have mentioned that the interface can be a little tricky to navigate at first.
So maybe not the most user-friendly option,
Yeah.
but for serious business needs, it might be worth the learning curve.
Yeah.
Now, there's another app that caught my eye in both articles, Empower Personal Dashboard. It sounds pretty intriguing.
Empower is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
It used to be called Personal Capital, and Forbes Advisor gave it a 4.5 out of 5 rating, naming it the best for tracking net worth.
Okay.
And let's be honest, who doesn't want to keep an eye on their net worth?
Totally agree, but honestly, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
Feels kind of intimidating.
Well, Empower takes all the guesswork out of it. It gives you a full financial rundown, including your spending, investment, performance stats, the whole picture. It's like having a personal financial advisor right there in your phone.
Wow, that sounds incredible, but I'm guessing it probably comes with a hefty price tag, right?
Here's the best part. Empower Personal Dashboard is totally free.
Whoa, free, A&D, comprehensive.
Yeah.
That's amazing. There's got to be a catch, right?
Well, there is one caveat.
Okay.
You need at least $100,000 in investment savings to use their robo-advisory services.
Okay.
So it's not entirely free if you want the full experience.
So not quite as accessible for everyone, but still a fantastic option for those who qualify.
Yeah.
What about Monarch Money? I keep seeing that one pop up as the potential heir to the Mint throne.
Monarch Money is definitely generating a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Forbes Advisor gave it a 4.5 out of 5, highlighting its ability to provide a comprehensive financial overview, just like Mint used to offer.
So it's basically Mint 2.0.
In some ways, yes. You can link all your financial accounts, create custom budgets, set savings goals, and track your net worth all in one place.
Okay.
But there are a few key differences.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Spill the tea. What makes it stand out?
For one, it's not free unlike Mint. It costs either $14.99 or $99.99 per year, depending on whether you choose a monthly or annual subscription. But they do offer a 7-day free trial, so you can test the waters before diving in.
Right.
Another key difference is the level of customization.
Okay.
It allows you to tailor your budgeting experience to your specific needs and preferences.
So you're paying for more control and flexibility.
Yeah.
I can see the appeal in that.
Yeah.
Now, what about EveryDollar? That one sounds familiar.
EveryDollar is a popular choice, especially for folks who are focused on getting out of debt.
Okay.
Forbes Advisor gave it a solid 4.4 out of 5 and named it the best app for crushing those debt monsters.
Interesting. I'm
Yeah.
guessing it has something to do with their budgeting philosophy?
Yeah. You guessed it, they use the zero-based budgeting method, which means you assign every single dollar you earn a specific purpose. Remember YMA? They use the same approach.
Right. It's all about being intentional with your spending.
Yeah,
It's like giving your money a job to do instead of letting it just slip away.
exactly. And by prioritizing debt repayment in your budget, you're more likely to make consistent progress towards becoming debt-free.
Okay.
EveryDollar even offers tools to help you create a debt snowball or debt avalanche plan, which can really accelerate the process.
Debt snowball and debt avalanche. Those sound intense, but also kind of exciting.
They can be.
Yeah.
It's all about finding a strategy that works for you.
Okay.
With a debt snowball, you focus on paying off your smallest debts first, regardless of the interest rate.
Right.
This approach can give you a sense of momentum and motivation, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed.
Okay, so it's like a psychological boost to keep you going. What about the debt avalanche?
The debt avalanche is more strategic. You target the debts with the highest interest rates first, which can save you money in the long run.
So one is about motivation,
Sure.
and the other is about minimizing costs. Got it. So EveryDollar lets you choose which approach you want to take.
Exactly. You pick the method that aligns with your personality and financial goals.
Cool.
Now, here's the thing. EveryDollar offers a free version.
Okay.
But if you want features like automatic transaction importing, you'll need to upgrade to their premium subscription, which is $17.99 per month or $79.99 per year.
Okay, so another one with a paid tier. But if it helps you get out of debt, it could be a game changer.
Right.
Now, I have to admit, the next app on our list threw me for a loop.
Okay.
Credit Karma.
Uh-huh.
I always thought that was just for checking your credit score.
It is primarily known for its credit monitoring tools, which are excellent, by the way.
Yeah.
But it also offers some basic budgeting features like categorizing expenses, tracking your spending by month, and even monitoring your net worth. Forbes Advisor gave it a 4.4 out of 5, naming it, as you might expect, the best for keeping tabs on your credit score.
I had no idea, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
Exactly. And the best part, it's completely free.
Okay, now we're talking free credit score monitoring, A&D budgeting tools. Sign me up.
Right.
But I have a feeling there must be a catch somewhere.
You're right, there is. The budgeting features are pretty basic compared to some of the other apps we've discussed.
Okay.
You can't create custom budgets or set specific financial goals, so it's more of a supplementary tool than a full-fledged budgeting solution.
Got it. So great for keeping an eye on things, but maybe not robust enough if you're serious about diving deep into budgeting.
Right.
Speaking of diving deep, let's move on to Fudget, which has a name that makes me smile every time I say it.
Fudget definitely wins the award for most adorable app name.
It does.
But don't let the name fool you. It's a solid option, especially if you're new to budgeting or prefer a more minimalist approach.
Okay.
Forbes Advisor gave it a 4.1 out of 5, calling it best for simple finances.
So for those who are just starting out or maybe feel overwhelmed by all the bells and whistles of some of these other apps.
Exactly. Fudget ditches all the fancy features and keeps things refreshingly straightforward.
I like it.
You input your income, add your expenses, and mark them as paid or unpaid.
Okay.
It's like a digital checkbook ledger, but way cuter.
I love the simplicity. It's like a palate cleanser for your finances.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there are some limitations.
You're right. You can't sync accounts, automate expense tracking, or track your net worth with the free version.
Okay.
And a lot of the features that make it really sing are only available in the paid version, which costs $19.99 per year or $14.99 every 6 months.
Okay, so another one with a freemium model, But if you value simplicity and ease of use, it might be worth checking out.
Yeah.
What's the last app on our list?
Last but not least, we have Good Budget,
Hmm.
which Forbes Advisor gave a 3.9 out of 5 rating, calling it the best for envelope budgeting.
Good budget. Is that like good vibes for your budget?
It might be good vibes are definitely encouraged when it comes to finances. Envelope budgeting is a classic method where you physically divide your cash into different envelopes, each representing a specific spending category.
So it's like a tangible way to see and feel your budget in action. I can see that would be helpful.
Exactly. And Good Budget digitizes this process, allowing you to create virtual envelopes and allocate funds to them.
Okay.
It's a great option for visual learners and those who like to gamify their finances a bit.
Yeah.
Plus, you can sync with multiple users, making it great for couples or families who want to budget together.
That sounds fun, like a financial team sport. But are there any downsides to this approach?
The main drawback is that Good Budget doesn't let you link your bank accounts.
Okay.
You have to manually enter all your expenses,
Yeah.
which can be a bit time-consuming.
Okay, so it requires a bit more effort, but it could be a great option for people who are committed to the envelope method and enjoy that hands-on approach.
Right.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
We've gone from the disappearance of mint to a whole smorgasbord of potential replacements.
Yeah.
What are some of your key takeaways from all these app recommendations?
Well, the first thing that jumps out at me is that there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Sure.
The best budgeting app for you is going to depend on your individual needs, personality, and financial goals.
Right. Some people might prefer a hands-on approach like what we see with YNA or
Yeah.
Every Dollar,
Yeah.
while others might prefer something more automated like Pocket Guard.
Exactly. It's also crucial to consider things like cost features and how easy the app is to use.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to try out a few different apps before settling on the one.
Right.
Most of them offer free trials or limited free versions so you can test the waters before diving in.
It's great advice. It's like dating for your finances.
It is.
Now, we've talked a lot about apps, but are there any other ways to budget effectively? What if you're not ready to jump into the tech world just yet?
Of course, budgeting apps are just one tool in your financial toolbox.
Right.
There are plenty of other ways to get your finances in order.
Okay. So what are some alternatives? What if you're more of a pen and paper person?
Well, you could go old school and use a spreadsheet.
Uh-huh.
It's a super customizable option, and it's completely free.
Oh, the trusty spreadsheet. I've used those for everything from planning meals to tracking my workouts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're versatile.
Yeah.
And for those who prefer a more tangible approach, there's always the cash envelope system, which, as we discussed, is the inspiration behind Good Budget.
Right. It's all about physically dividing your money into categories and only spending what you've allocated.
Exactly. It's a great way to visualize your spending and stay accountable.
So many options.
Yeah.
It's great to know there's so many different ways to approach budgeting.
Yeah.
But after all this talk about apps, spreadsheets, and envelopes, I'm curious, are budgeting tools really necessary? Can't you just track your spending in your head?
That's a question a lot of people ask.
Yeah.
And while some folks can make it work without any tools, for most of us, using some kind of system makes a huge difference.
Okay.
Budgeting isn't just about tracking your spending, it's about making conscious decisions about your money and reaching your financial goals.
Right. It's about being in control of your money instead of feeling like it's controlling you.
Exactly. And budgeting tools can help you do just that.
Oh.
They simplify the process, give you valuable insights into your spending habits, and keep you motivated.
I love that. So it's like having a personal finance cheerleader in your corner, rooting you on every step of the way.
Exactly. But remember, even the best budgeting app or spreadsheet can't magically fix your finances.
Right.
It takes effort and commitment on your part to make it work.
That's true. No app can replace good financial habits.
But they can definitely make it easier to develop and maintain those habits. If you're struggling with budgeting or want to be more intentional with your money, I highly recommend giving a budgeting tool a try.
I agree. There's an option out there for everyone, whether you prefer a high-tech app, a simple spreadsheet, or a stack of good old-fashioned envelopes.
And who knows, it might just change your financial life for the better.
Now, that's an inspiring thought.
Ugh.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling motivated to get my finances in order. I think I might just download one of these apps and see what all the fuss is about.
That's the spirit. And remember, we're here to help you every step of the way.
Awesome.
If you have any questions or need help choosing the right tool, don't hesitate to reach out.
We're your person budgeting buddies.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's it for part 1 of our deep dive into the world of budgeting apps. We've explored the mysterious disappearance of Mint, discussed the importance of budgeting, and taken a look at a whole bunch of top-rated app recommendations.
We've also touched on some alternatives to apps and the value of using budgeting tools in general. Welcome back. It's time to get a little more philosophical. In part one, we explored the wild world of budgeting apps, talking about everything from Mince's sudden vanishing act to the rise of new contenders like Monarch Money.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground, but I'm eager to dig a little deeper.
Right.
It seems like each app has its own personality and philosophy when it comes to budgeting.
You're absolutely right. There's no one right way to budget. It's all about finding an approach that clicks with you.
Right.
In this part, we'll unpack the thinking behind some of these top-rated apps and see if we can uncover what makes them tick.
Sounds good to me. Let's start with Quick and Simplify, which Forbes Advisor dubbed the best for managing household finances.
Right.
What sets this app apart in the philosophy department?
Simplify is all about making financial management, well, simpler. It aims to be a one-stop shop for all your money needs. It connects to your accounts, tracks your spending, and helps you create a personalized spending plan, all in a user-friendly interface.
So it's like a command center for your finances.
Exactly. And one of its core philosophies is transparency and collaboration, especially for households with multiple decision makers.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about its multi-user feature?
Yeah.
That's a key part of its approach.
Right. So you and your partner or roommates or whoever you're sharing finances with can be on the same page working towards shared goals without those awkward money conversations.
Exactly. No more finger-pointing or guessing games. Simplify's philosophy is that everyone involved should have a clear view of the financial picture.
I love that transparency is so important in any relationship, especially when it comes to money.
Yeah.
It can prevent a lot of stress and arguments.
Okay.
Let's move on to YAM, which Forbes Advisor loved for its goal-setting and proactive approach.
Right.
Their tagline is, "You need a budget," which is pretty straightforward.
Right. They definitely don't mince words. YME's philosophy is all about taking control of your money by giving every dollar a specific purpose.
Yeah.
No more wondering where your paycheck went.
We touched on their give every dollar a job
Yeah.
mantra earlier.
Right.
It sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work in practice?
Well, imagine you're getting ready for a big trip.
Okay.
With YME, you wouldn't just start saving randomly and hope for the best.
Right.
You'd break down the total cost of the trip into smaller chunks, flights, accommodation activities, and allocate specific amounts from each paycheck to each category.
So it's like creating a mini budget within your overall budget just for that specific goal.
Exactly. You're essentially telling your money what to do before you even have it, which can be a huge mindset shift for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's about moving from reactive spending to proactive planning.
That's really interesting. It reminds me of that saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
YNAB is basically taking that to heart when it comes to your finances.
Totally.
But you mentioned earlier that YNAB might not be the best fit for everyone, especially folks with unpredictable incomes.
You're right. YAV's philosophy works best when you have a fairly consistent income and can map out your spending in advance.
Okay.
It's a great tool for those who thrive on structure and detailed planning.
Okay, so maybe not the best for freelancers or gig workers whose income can fluctuate from month to month.
Exactly. For those folks, a more flexible approach might be better now. If you're someone who loves visuals and wants to track your spending without feeling overwhelmed, you might resonate with Pocket Guard's philosophy.
Oh, visuals.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. I feel like I can make sense of numbers so much better when I can actually see them.
Then you might really appreciate Pocket Guard.
Okay.
Their approach is all about simplicity and clarity. They believe that understanding your spending habits shouldn't feel like rocket science.
So no complicated spreadsheets or confusing jargon.
Exactly. Pocket Guard uses colorful graphs and charts to break down your spending, making it easy to identify areas where you might be overspending.
It's like a financial GPS guiding you towards your goals.
Exactly. And remember how we talked about its In My Pocket feature?
Yeah.
That's another key part of their philosophy, making financial information accessible and actionable.
Right. It calculates how much money you have left to spend after taking care of your bills and savings goals. That's super helpful for avoiding those impulse purchases we were talking about earlier.
Right. It's about empowering you to make smart decisions in the moment without feeling restricted or deprived.
Okay. I'm officially adding Pocket Guard to my must-try list. What about Countabout? We talked about how it's geared towards freelancers and business owners. What's their philosophy like?
Countabout takes a more professional approach to budgeting. Their philosophy is all about combining financial organization with robust accounting tools.
So it's like a hybrid of a budgeting app and accounting software.
Exactly. It's designed to help self-employed individuals manage both their personal and business finances with precision.
That makes sense. Freelancers and business owners often wear multiple hats, and their finances can be more complex.
Right.
They need a tool that can handle all the moving parts.
Absolutely. Countabout's philosophy is that clear financial records are essential for success, whether you're tracking personal spending or managing business expenses.
So it's like having a virtual accountant right in your pocket.
Mhm.
What about Empower Personal Dashboard? They seem to be all about that big picture financial view.
You're right. Empower's philosophy centers around taking a holistic approach to your finances. They believe that to truly achieve financial well-being, you need to consider all aspects of your financial life spending, saving, investing, and even managing debt.
It's like a 360-degree view of your financial landscape.
Exactly. Empower's goal is to empower you, pun intended, to make informed decisions that will improve your overall financial health.
Okay.
They emphasize transparency and education, providing personalized insights and recommendations based on your unique situation.
But remember, there's that little caveat. You need a certain amount of investment savings to access their robo-advisory services.
That's true. While their basic features are free, their premium services are geared towards those with a more substantial investment portfolio.
Uh-huh.
But even if you don't qualify for those services, their free tools can still be incredibly valuable.
Okay, so even if you're not a high roller, Empower can still be a useful resource.
Hmm.
Now, what about Monarch Money? We talked about how it's being touted as a potential replacement for Mint. What sets its philosophy apart?
Monarch Money's philosophy is all about personalization and flexibility. They recognize that everyone's financial journey is unique, and they want to empower you to create a budgeting experience that truly works for you.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not. They offer a wide range of features and customization options, allowing you to tailor the app to your specific needs and preferences.
Okay.
They also place a strong emphasis on collaboration, allowing you to share your budget and financial goals with partners, family members, or even financial advisors.
It's like having a financial support team built right into the app.
I love that they're acknowledging that we don't all manage our money in the same way.
Exactly. It's about finding a system that feels intuitive and empowering, not restrictive or overwhelming.
Now, what about every dollar? They seem to be laser focused on helping people conquer debt.
You're right. Every Dollar's philosophy is built on the belief that everyone deserves to live a debt-free life.
Okay.
They utilize the zero-based budgeting method, which we discussed earlier, to help you regain control of your finances and prioritize debt repayment. It's like taking that give every dollar a job concept and putting your debt at the top of the to-do list.
Exactly. They also recognize that getting out of debt can be a challenging and emotional journey. Their philosophy emphasizes encouragement and support, providing tools and resources to help you stay motivated along the way.
So it's not just about crunching numbers, it's about creating a positive mindset around debt repayment.
Absolutely. They even offer debt snowball and debt avalanche calculators, which we talked about earlier, to help you visualize your progress and stay on track.
Okay, so they're combining a practical approach with a supportive and encouraging tone.
Oh.
Now, what about Credit Karma? We know they're known for their credit score monitoring, but they also offer some basic budgeting tools. What's their philosophy like?
Credit Karma's overarching philosophy is to empower everyone to take control of their financial well-being.
Okay.
They believe that access to financial information should be free and readily available, which is reflected in their free credit score monitoring and basic budgeting tools.
So they're kind of like a financial advocate for the everyday person.
Exactly. They want to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to make smart financial decisions, whether you're trying to improve your credit score, manage your spending, or simply gain a better understanding of your overall financial health.
So that's a refreshing perspective. Now, what about Fudget? We talked about how it's great for those who prefer simplicity. What's their philosophy all about?
Fudget's philosophy is beautifully summed up in their tagline, "Budgeting Made Simple." They believe that budgeting shouldn't feel like a chore or punishment.
Right.
It should be a straightforward and accessible way to manage your money without getting bogged down in unnecessary complexity.
So it's like the Marie Kondo of budgeting apps, tidying up your finances and keeping things clutter-free.
Exactly. They strip away all the bells and whistles and focus on the essentials, making it a great option for beginners or those who feel overwhelmed by more elaborate apps.
Okay, I'm officially charmed by their approach now. Last but not least, we have Good Budget, the champions of envelope budgeting.
Good Budget's philosophy harkens back to a time before credit cards and online banking, when people physically allocated their cash into different envelopes for various spending categories.
Right.
They believe that this tangible approach can be incredibly effective for visual learners and those who want to curb impulse spending.
Right. It's like giving yourself a visual reminder of how much you have left to spend in each category.
Uh-huh.
It's like a financial game of don't break the bank.
Exactly. Their philosophy is about making your budget a part of your daily life, not just something you glance at once a month.
I love that it's about creating a more mindful relationship with your money.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've explored the diverse philosophies behind some of the top-rated budgeting apps.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see how each app approaches financial management in a unique way.
It really is, and it highlights the fact that there's no one right way to budget.
Yeah.
The key is to find an approach that resonates with you and helps you achieve your financial goals.
Absolutely. Now, I know you're eager to hear our final thoughts and get some tips on choosing the perfect app for your needs.
I am, but I think it's time for a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be back in a flash with part 3, where we'll help you navigate the budgeting app landscape and find the perfect match for your financial personality.
Welcome back to our budgeting app deep dive.
It's been quite a journey.
We've explored the sudden disappearance of Mint, the surprising variety of apps out there, and even gotten a little philosophical about different budgeting approaches.
We have.
But with so many options,
Right.
it can be hard to know where to start.
Yeah.
How do you sift through all the features, philosophies, and price points to find the app that's right for you?
Right.
It feels like a big decision.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming.
Okay.
Think of it like choosing a workout buddy.
Okay.
You want someone who motivates you, supports your goals, and maybe even makes the process a little more fun.
Okay. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So how do we find our perfect financial fitness companion? Where do we even begin?
The first step is to reflect on your budgeting personality. Are you a meticulous planner who loves diving into spreadsheets and categorizing every penny? Or do you prefer a more hands-off approach, letting automation do the heavy lifting?
Right. Some people thrive on details while others just want a general overview. It's about figuring out what feels natural and sustainable for you.
Exactly. Once you have a sense of your budgeting style, consider your specific needs and goals. Are you trying to tackle debt, save for a down payment, or maybe you just want to be more mindful of your daily spending?
Right. It's all about finding the right tool for the job. No point in using a sledgehammer when you need a screwdriver.
Precisely. And don't forget to factor in things like cost features and ease of use.
Right.
Do you need an app that can handle multiple users? Are you looking for something with robust investment tracking capabilities? These are all important considerations.
So many variables to consider. It's like putting together a puzzle trying to find all the pieces that fit just right.
Exactly. And remember, it's okay to experiment. Most apps offer free trials or limited free versions so you can test the waters before committing.
Right.
Think of it like dating for your finances. You might have to try a few different apps before you find the one.
Love that. So we figured out our budgeting personality, identified our needs, and we're ready to start swiping right on some budgeting apps.
Okay.
Any final words of wisdom before we set off on our financial adventures?
Oh, yes. Remember, the app is just a tool. The real magic happens when you actively engage with it, make conscious decisions about your money, and commit to building healthy financial habits.
Right. It's like any fitness journey. The app can track your progress and cheer you on, but you're the one putting in the work.
Exactly. Don't get discouraged if you stumble along the way. Building a strong financial foundation takes time, effort, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Well said. So to wrap things up, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this budgeting app deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the ever-changing app landscape, dug into the philosophies behind some of the top contenders, and even gotten some practical tips on choosing the right app for your needs.
We've certainly had a lot to unpack, and most importantly, we hope we've empowered you to feel more confident and excited about taking control of your finances.
Absolutely. Whether you choose a high-tech app, a trusty spreadsheet, or a stack of colorful envelopes. Remember, budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about freedom. It's about making choices that align with your values and goals so you can live the life you truly desire.
Well said, and remember, we're always here to cheer you on. Happy budgeting, everyone.